hope you're well. I'm now back with fresh content. So we took a little break in Virginia Water and it was just so beautiful. We did a lot of walking, and the hotel we stayed at had beautiful grounds and we did some walking there. It was a mixed weather where the first few days we actually could use the outdoors pool and sunbathe a little bit, and that was quite lovely. And then we did a lot of sort of walking, and some days we got rained on, but it has been a great little break. So I'm happy to be home and getting back into a little bit of a routine, but I have very little time for creating, and in the last 2 evenings I managed to find a bit of time to sit down in my studio and do some painting, which has been really enjoyable. So as you will know from the titles, it's a Jackson's haul. I have 2 little boxes here and let's look inside. So these are all going to be tubes. I don't think I ordered anything else from what I can remember. So I'm just going to remove these popcorn bits here. So I have ordered 4 watercolors and 3 of them are from the 2017 release. And so they're kind of the newer addition to the whole line. So they are Turner's Yellow, Yellow Orange, and Transparent Red Deep. And then I also ordered Neutral Tint from their existing range. And that's a color I always kind of found quite intriguing and thought it would be a great color for shadows and things like that. Generally I like using Payne's Grey, but this is just a different alternative, so I wanted to give it a go and see how it is. And yeah, so let's have a look. Turner's Yellow is a PY216. Yellow Orange is PY110, and the Transparent Red Deep is PR144. Neutral Tint is PR122, PB60, and PBK7. So there's a red, a blue, and a black. So red and blue makes purple, so it's going to have a purpley undertone to it. Then I have ordered, I have to say I'm not keen on the design of the tubes or the look of the tubes. They're plastic and there's just way too much going on them, and to me the design of art supplies actually makes a big difference. And I'm sorry to say, but I tend to fall in love with a certain product range, not just because of the the quality of the product or the actual product, but also the look of them, because I like seeing them in my studio. I like picking them up, looking at them, and all of that. So yeah, the design of them in my opinion is not great, but the content is supposed to be quite good from what I have seen, and I really am quite excited to try these. So let me just show you all the other colors as well. Okay, let's just put them into an order. Oh, what's that? Marble Blue, Colori Acquarello Superiori. So, oh, thank you, Jackson's. I got a little swatch card. I've never tried, oh, except I think Irid Landgraf. She has sent me, I think, a couple of the half pens filled with this paint. They were quite nice, but I haven't tried them otherwise. I have never bought any tubes or half pens or anything like that. I'm not sure if they sell in half pans or full pans. I know that they sell in tubes for sure. So this is Italian watercolor brand. Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever tried any Italian. So American, German, Japanese, what else? And French. I think predominantly those are the paints I have tried. So definitely looking forward to do a little swatch with these colors. Let's just see. We've got orange Pirola, quinacridone lake, green gold. I love green gold. Turquoise cobalt, Payne's grey. Oh, all my favorite colors here. And ultramarine deep. Very good. Okay. So that will be quite useful. So let me just quickly put these into some sort of a color order, and we will look at all the colors. I suppose that will do for now. That color really needs to be somewhere here, but maybe like that. Yeah, that works well. Okay, so as you can see, I ordered some pastels and I ordered some vibrant colors as well. So of course I went for white as well, so I could turn all of these colors into lighter tones. So Chinese white, I have got primary magenta, wine red, coral red, mustard, although it really looks like a yellow in here, but it sort of is this perfect color that I absolutely love in combination with something like that. That's just perfection in my opinion. And then we have light apricot, pale pink, misty blue, ice green, pale mint, misty green and olive. And I have to say there were quite a few more that I wanted, but they were out of stock, thank goodness, otherwise I would have purchased even more. But I think for now this color palette is good, I think. So what are these? These are Holbein Gouache, which are Acryla Gouache, they're called. And basically they are a hybrid between a gouache and acrylic paint, in the sense that it behaves like gouache, so similar to watercolor. You can dilute it with loads of water and create sort of these watercolory washes, or you can create quite a bit of opacity by using, you know, paint pretty much straight out of the tube with very minimal water. However, once it dries, it becomes permanent, like acrylic paint. So generally gouache would be still water soluble after you dry it, and on top of it, if you try to put something, it could make the color move, so to speak. But these dry matte and they dry with acrylic finish, which is permanent. So that's for me perfect, because I actually quite like that look of using pencils, and you know my obsession with pencils this year, which started last year, really, 2020. That's one of the very few good things that 2020 brought on. But yeah, so I just love that look of kind of scribbling and making pencil marks and beautiful kind of ornamental patterns on a matte surface. So that is why I wanted to try these, and I think it will be a good kind of addition to my already existing acrylic paints and watercolors. It's sort of somewhere there in between. Okay, now on to the fun part, which is the swatching part. So let's do the watercolors first, and then I will do the acrylic gouache. So let's start with Turner's Yellow. Rutile Yellow was the first kind of yellow that I purchased from that 2017 release. Basically, they celebrated the anniversary of, I think, 100 or 125 years. Let me see. Yes, so 125 years, and they created 35 new colors. And I got quite a few out of them. In fact, I will tell you. which ones I have. So the colors that I have are Turner's Yellow, Quinacridone Gold Hue, so you can see these are the new colors here, Yellow Orange, Geranium Red, Quinacridone Red Light, and Transparent Red Deep. That's the color we will be swatching today. Do let me know in the comments below whether you would love to see all of those colors from the 2017 release swatched, the colors that I have swatched in a separate video. I would be happy to do that. It would be good for me to remind myself of those colors. It'd be good for you to see them if you are interested. Ruby Red Deep I have. I also have Quinacridone Purple and Cobalt Violet Hue. From the blues I have French Ultramarine, I've got Viridian, Transparent Green Gold, Rutile Yellow, and I have Transparent Sienna, Maroon Brown, Mars Brown, and Perylene Green. And that's it, I think. Oh, I've got Mars Black as well. I've got actually quite a few tubes of Mars Black. Didn't realize that that was a new addition, so I'm going to tick that off as well. Okay, so I've got quite a few. Let me just count them quickly so I know out of 35 I have. So I have 18 colors out of the 35 new colors. Okay, so if you're interested for the swatches, do let me know. Okay, so next color we have is Yellow Orange. Then we have Transparent Red Deep. And finally, Neutral Tint. Okay, so let's see how the swatching goes. Oh, so that's interesting. Turner's Yellow is quite opaque. It's sort of between a dandelion and rutile yellow. It's really interesting. It has that creaminess to it, but I think if you wanted it to be more transparent, it can be. Next one is the Yellow Orange. So I am after a specific orange, which is also kind of like creamy and warm. I need to swatch all of my oranges to see. I think this is quite close to what I was after. I was expecting the Turner's Yellow to be a bit more yellow for some reason. Still a pretty color, but very close to the rutile yellow from my memory. Transparent Red Deep. Oh yeah, this is a gorgeous color and a must-have in my book. It's beautiful, super saturated. Looks beautiful when it's you know, has a lot of water in there, but also super deep. Okay, this is a good color as well. It's kind of like this sort of aubergine skin. it can go almost black at its most intense, and then lovely and sort of purpley grey at its lightest. Okay, so out of curiosity I'm going to get my rutile yellow and just swatch it out. And while we're here, I'm going to read up about Turner's yellow and rutile yellow. So Turner's yellow is light, semi-opaque orange yellow, and rutile yellow is a warm, semi-opaque light yellow. So here's my rutile yellow. I really had so much fun with this tube. It creates some lovely mixes. I'll try to find the video where I've done the mixes for you to see. Okay, so it's very similar. It like literally could be brother or sister, just a lighter version of it. So that's the color here. So this one almost has more kind of peach to it, which is what they say, the orange, and that is that. So let's see at that one was PY216 and this is PY53. So quite different. I'm just going to title them and we're going to focus on the gouache swatches.